All right, we have Brett Eldredge on Pure Country. Nice to see you, even though it's
good to see you.
I actually realized that today is exactly 2 years since I first met you and interviewed you at Cavendish Beach Music Festival.
God, that was 2 years ago?
Yeah, I know. It's been a while.
Oh my God. I was looking at a video yesterday when I went down to the water there, and I didn't realize that was 2 years ago. So
no, it's been a while. That was a fun one. So congratulations on the new album, Sunday Drive. I feel like me, along with all the rest of your fans, have been patiently waiting for this new record. Are you so relieved that it's finally out?
Yeah, it's I've been working since I guess I was there at the festival, because it took about 2 years kind of make this album, and it's such a relief, to be able to finally kind of give a part of my soul, get it out there. I've been holding on to it for so long. I think I've been like anxious to just get it out. I feel like a weight is off my shoulders in a good way. I just feel like I just had this story to tell, and now it's here. So I'm really excited to have it, and this is the deepest I've ever gone, and I think the best I've ever been able to make music in my life by creating space to be able to do it in a way in my life. So I'm just really excited to get it out there. I'm proud of this one.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like every record is special, and it means a lot when it's out, but judging by the songs on this one is a really honest record that you put out. So I feel like this one might be a little extra special for you.
Yeah, I think beyond just, recording songs that, this is gonna be a hit, and I'm gonna be able to sing this in arenas and people go crazy and all that. When you go from the writing from another place of, it could end up being a song that people are gonna sing in the arenas and all that too. But when you go and just be really vulnerable and honest, and just write it from not even thinking it that way, just thinking, I got to pour every single bit of my heart into this and not worry about where it goes from there, other than just knowing that I'm honest and real, then it'll connect with my fans more than ever. So it's been crazy. I've released, I think, 5 songs early, and it's the most passion I've ever got out of my fans. And it was a breath of fresh air for me, because you never know what's going to happen until you actually get it out there.
Yeah.
And so it feels good to have it out there and have everybody connecting in the way that they have. And now here we are today with the release of it. So it feels pretty cool.
Well, and it's cool to hear that from you, because I spoke to you last Christmas, I think it was, and you said, don't worry, you guys, I'm working on this new music. I'm going to get it to you soon. And you just said you were so excited to hear what fans thought of it. So you've been getting good response back, which is good.
Yes, really good.
So you brought on 2 writers who I'm a huge fan of for this record, Daniel Tashian and Ian Fitchuk. So You guys took a trip to your hometown of Paris, Illinois, and then recorded most of the album in Chicago. One, why was it so important to bring those guys in to do this record? And 2, why did you feel, I got to get out of Nashville where everyone else records? This is where I'm going to do this record.
Well, Ian and Daniel were, when I started writing with them, I knew Ian because he was a drummer on some of my other records. And I just always loved his energy and his spirit, and how good he was at just having a creative ear with different ideas. And I heard that he was writing and really producing some really cool stuff with Daniel Tashian, and they hadn't had any, big successes yet with records, but I listened to their records and really loved some of the stuff that they'd done. And so I was like, I just need to go try writing with them, not even worrying about making a record with them yet, just going to try write with them, see where that goes. And just the first day that we wrote, it just was something that I could see that they looked at the world in a different lens. They look at it a little bit different there, which is what you want. Cause you find somebody else that can kind of get a different, look at what I've done and where I can go with it, and take a different perspective. And that was huge for me. And they were just so creative. And Daniel gets on the floor and he's writing on cardboard and cutting out cardboard and sticking it up on the wall and making storyboards. And he jumps over to piano, and then he's on guitar, then Ian's on drums, and then Ian jumps over to some weird toy piano that he got at at the thrift store, and it's just so creative and so unique, and they're just amazing creators. And I think after that first day we wrote, I said, there's something really special about that. It made me way out of my comfort zone because it was way different than what I was used to. But I said, that's exactly what I need. And next thing you know, we keep writing, and then, you know, they start blowing up, and they end up winning the biggest award you can possibly win in music with the Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and all that. And all that. And they, a day or two later, I was actually in Southern California. I rented a little beach house, and I was just writing by myself and hanging by myself, kind of self-reflecting. And they called me up like the next day after they won the award. They're like, hey, we want to stop out there and come write with you. And I was like blown away that, you know, these guys just won the biggest award they could possibly win in music, and they want to create the next thing. And that's the passion I want, is just people that love to create so much that they're continuing to be inspired by what they've done, but even more where they're going. And I think that was huge, and that really kind of sealed it for me that these are the guys that make the record with.
That's awesome. And I feel like it says a lot about a person and an artist when you look at the track listing for a record. I never realized how much thought actually goes into that, but it really is choosing where your children are going to sit. Like, so you picked Paris, Illinois as the last song on the record.
Yeah.
Why is that one the wrap up for this one?
Well, the first song is Where the Heart Is, and Where the Heart is kind of the first song that I wrote that really connected as the map for this album, like where I want to go, which is the journey that I was on, which was trying to find the magic in the world again. I was kind of burnt, I was kind of fried, and I needed to find really my meaning and purpose again of what I'm doing, and find that spark again. And so that's where the Heart Is came about, and then it goes on a journey of kind of finding where the heart is in the record, and it ends in Paris, Illinois, which is, you know, it ends up being where the heart is at home, is the place that, and whether you're in the actual Paris, Illinois, or actually just thinking about it, you're finding that untouched heart, that unfiltered heart that was a kid. You know, you kind of always are looking for your inner child, you know, in life, you know, that magic in life, and it usually is from the places that shaped you, and that's Paris, Illinois for me. And so that's kind of how that fell in place. So it was very intended. It's hard to pick where to put the songs, but that one was pretty obvious, I think, once we really started talking about it.
That's cool. And I feel like I've related to this record in a lot of ways, because I've felt that of being like so busy and traveling so much, and then you go back home and everything kind of just makes sense again, and levels you out. And so I think a lot of people will be able to find themselves in this record, whether you're from Paris, Illinois or not. Absolutely.
You don't have to be from there.
So I want to ask you, because you posted a little story about this with Sunday Drive. You listened to that song years ago when you were working at a publishing company, and you just hoped that no one would ever record it to put it out.
Yeah, I was an intern, and I heard the song, and I was taken back by it. I mean, I was just a kid. I mean, I still feel like I'm a kid, but I was like in college, or right out of college, and so I was trying to figure out like what I should. My dog's howling right now.
That's okay. I'm surprised mine haven't barked yet, so we're good.
When sirens go by, that happens. Oh my God. Anyways.
Normally mine bark during these interviews, so I'm totally fine with it.
So could you hear that? Oh my God.
He has a lot to say.
What's that?
He has a lot to say.
He does. He can't stop. He never barks either. But
at first I was like, that's a cool siren. And then I was like, I feel like that's a dog.
It's my own personal siren. That's what he does. Anyways, what were we talking about?
The joys of 2020 and virtual interviews. So the Sunday Drive song, because that song is amazing. How did it not get recorded all the time?
Well, I think it almost did get recorded several times. And but I would always be like, I wouldn't tell anybody about it. I didn't want anybody to know about this song. Not because I guess selfishly, I didn't want anybody to know about it, because I knew that I wanted to record it at some point, and I knew that I could give it about as good of a rendition as possible, because I felt like it was written for me, like it was just one of those things that just, I hardly ever, I found there are millions of amazing songs in this town. I mean, it's incredible, but I like to write them from my perspective, because that's my life and I relate to it more. Well, this one was one of those songs that felt like I wrote it. And I didn't, but it was so real to my life. And so I went and I just kind of waited years and years. And my first album came up, wasn't right for that. Second album, not right for that. Third album, not right for that. And it's like, I was waiting for the right time in my life to be reflective and kind of where it would make sense to tell that story. And it was this album. And this is, if you just listen to this whole album, you can tell that it was the centerpiece, and I think that was pretty cool, that it kind of almost serendipitous, and this is like this very unique way, was like, this is what was supposed to happen with that song. And yeah, it's art. I'm so glad no other artist recorded it.
Yeah,
that would have been really sad.
I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. So it was nice to just keep waiting for you to get your hands on it. So you are hosting the Country Top 30 Countdown for Bobby Bones this weekend.
Yes.
Do you enjoy getting to do stuff like that?
I do. It's just a unique way to be able to kind of, I used to listen to the countdowns on the weekends all the time growing up, and to be able to be the voice on there, or whether the people are singing along to, or, talking to them about the songs and everything is really cool. So, and Bobby's a good friend of mine. So being able to take over for him and let him step out on vacation, I feel so bad for him. So
I'll keep that in mind.
He works really hard. So
he does.
I was excited to take a little break, and now I'm going to take a vacation maybe next week after I release the album, and maybe he could come sing some songs from me, because he could sing too. So
yeah, he can play guitar and sing.
That's right.
Well, I'll keep that in mind if I ever need to take a vacation. That you.
Yeah, I got you. No problem. No problem.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on the record. It is awesome, and I personally cannot wait to get to hear you play that record from start to finish live one day, because I feel like that's when it will come even more alive.
Yeah, so that's the goal very, very soon. Until then, everybody just put on your headphones, go for a walk, take a Sunday drive, whatever you got to do, and enjoy life and what you got right now. Even the tough times, we got a lot to be grateful for. So
absolutely, and listen to it on vinyl, because I just feel like this record
sounds
so good on vinyl.
That might be coming too. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Brett Eldredge on Pure Country.